Shopify have recently updated their analytics platform and it's finally useful. You can fully customize the way the dashboard looks to the metrics that matter on your store. So you can have a look at the metrics that help you grow, help you optimize, and really help you make sure that you can take your store to the next level. The cool thing is all the customizations that you make on the store even come across to the mobile app. So you can see everything that you need on the go. The problem is with most e-commerce entrepreneurs, there is too many metrics to look at. We don't know what ones are good, what ones aren't good. And when we go in there, it just looks like a jumble of numbers and we don't know what to make of that data. So what I'm going to do in today's video, I'm going to take you through the 5 key metrics that I use on my Shopify store. I'm going to show you how to customize the new Shopify dashboard so that you can look at the right metrics to make sure you're looking at the right thing so that you can scale your business. Now, if we're just meeting for the first time, my name is Brendan Gillen and I've been in e-commerce for over 15 years and I've worked inside some of the biggest brands in the world and helped them scale via e-commerce. I now run the e-commerce academy and I work with e-commerce entrepreneurs to scale their stores to $1 million a year. And I put up videos just like this on YouTube so you guys can learn my strategies and implement them into your businesses. Let's jump into the Shopify dashboard. Now, this is the new Shopify dashboard here, and to access it, you're going to go to the left and click Analytics. Now, if your dashboard doesn't look a little bit like this, it means you've probably still got the old dashboard and it hasn't been rolled out to your store yet. It's being rolled out as we speak. Some stores are seeing a little icon up here that lets you switch to the new dashboard. So if you've got that there, make sure you click it. But the dashboard looks a little bit different. We can see, larger graphs, we can see, smaller boxes. It's not that normal boxy framework that we're used to seeing. So I'm going to take you through sort of how we can customize it and how cool this is. So over on the right hand side, you're going to see this button here that says customize. So we're going to click customize. And what this takes us to is it brings up over on the left here all the reports that Shopify has built in. So everything that is in your reports and analytics section is in here. Now, the cool thing about this is that we can grab any of these items here and bring it over into the dashboard. So let me grab something by that. We'll grab, say, what's a good one here? ABC product analysis. So we can actually bring this across and drag it into the dashboard here. Now, that's not it. We can also drag it around and we can move it to anywhere that we want. We can have it take any sort of priority, okay? Or we can drag this one across. We can start to sort of, massage it however we want to look at the data. And it gives us full control of this dashboard and the customization that we want. So you can just basically go through and start playing around with all these different, metrics that you might want to look at. So here's average order quantity over time. We might want to see, how many items that people are buying per order. We can set it over time. And again, we can just start dragging this around and moving everything that we want to do. Now, I'm a little bit sort of OCD on some of this stuff, so I'll spend lots of time making sure everything is lined up and looking perfect. But I'm not going to do that today because I just want to show you how to use it and you guys can spend time doing it yourself. So I'm going to click reset to default and it brings it back to the default dashboard. All right, we'll click save there. Now, this is the default data that everybody sees in their dashboard. But what we can actually do is we can customize this and add in sort of our own data. And this is where the Shopify reports is really cool. So over on the left-hand side, we see something here called Shopify reports. Now, if we click into that, what we can actually do is each of these reports can become a widget on your dashboard. So we can do like sessions by location. You can see I've added something new here, and we can do lots of different things. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a new metric now. And one of the metrics I like to know is what are the total sales coming from which sales channel? And so that one there is actually called total sales by referrer. So if we go back to our analytics dashboard and have a look what we've got there, and we have a look at where our sales are coming from, we've got total sales by channel. That's, where they might sell through. We've got sessions, we've got conversion rate, we've got sessions by device, sessions by location, we've got sessions by referrer, but there's nothing here that actually tells me where the sales are coming from. We've got this sales by referrer, but it's not really, I don't really like the layout of that, okay? So let's just say I want to change the layout of that one. What we can do is we can click this icon here, and then here it brings us into the Shopify query. And this is where it gets really cool. We can completely customize the way we want. So let's just say I don't really like this bar chart here. What I can do is over on the right-hand side, we can actually change the way the visualization happens. So we can click down here, and let's just say we want to change this to say a donut. And now it changes it like that. So now we can see the majority of our sales are coming from Google, and the second majority is direct, and then we've got social media and so on and so on. So now if we click save as, we're going to call it total sales by referrer. And now I've done this before, so I'm going to have to call it donut 2. And we click save a copy. And then let's go back to our analytics and let's see if it changed that for us. So it hasn't changed that one for us, but what we can do is we can customize, and we can go in here and I can cross that out, and I'm just going to type in the word donut. So we've got total sales by referrer donut 2, and we can drag that in, pop that in there, and now we can see the stats in the layout that we like it to be. So that's total sales by referrer. So that's just changing the visualization on how we look at the data. And that is really, really useful, because now I can say, okay, the majority of my sales in this store are coming from Google. That's a lot. So what I can do with this data is I can say, well, hey, we're heavily reliant on Google, but maybe we should try and leverage some of the other channels so we're not over-indexed on that one channel. So that's sort of how we start playing around with it. And you can start building out your custom reports as well. So if we're going to reports here, we can have a look at some of these ones. So we would then click something like new exploration, and this allows us to create our own reports. Now, if you're fancy with Shopify QL, you can start building this out here. Now, I'm not overly fancy with Shopify QL, but you can go to ChatGPT and ask it to write queries for you if you really want to get into here and create super custom queries. But that is a little bit nerdy, and I'm not going to do that today. So the best course of action is to have a look at some of these reports here and see if there's anything here that could be useful in your report. So I like this one. Once this orders over time could be pretty useful. It shows me orders over time's come down a little bit in this month. So let's go to another month over time. Now this store is sometimes active, sometimes inactive. So we use a bit of a test. So have a look at this. We can see, yeah, orders over this month are sort of up and down. The cool thing about this data is we can see days of the month that are more popular than other days of the month. So we might want to add this into the reports. We'll click Save As, orders over time, and we'll call this a line chart. Okay, so we might grab that. Might grab this one here, save a copy. We'll go back to analytics and customize. We'll grab this one, we'll type in line, and we got this one here. Now I'd probably want to have that under, say, orders fulfilled. Now the cool thing here is it shows it like that, so we can have it wide, which probably works actually pretty well there. So we go like that, and then we can see orders fulfilled and orders over time. And we might better, bring something here. Maybe we do it this way. This helps my OCD a little bit. All right, so we click save, and now we can see this customized dashboard is well suited to what I'm after. I want to know my orders fulfilled. I want to know how many orders there are, and then sort of orders over time, a bit of a line chart there, okay? So that should be pretty useful if you want to start customizing it. But I did promise you at the start of the video that there were 5 key metrics that you need to look at every single day on your online store. Now, these are what we call levers inside the e-commerce academy. It's what we teach inside our bootcamp, and it's what we teach inside our elite team. So if you want to learn a little bit more about that, I have put some details down below. Now, when we think about metrics in our store, we think about inputs versus outputs, and the output that we want is revenue. So we want our revenue to go up. And as an e-commerce entrepreneur, we can't actually increase our revenue. The only thing that we can increase is the inputs that create that revenue. And the inputs are the metrics that we need to look at in this dashboard. So we focus on optimizing these key metrics. And those metrics are sessions, average order value, conversion rate, returning customer rate, and your customer lifetime value. So I'm going to show you where you find these in the Shopify dashboard now. So on the default dashboard, so let me click customize and reset to default. So we can sort of see here. Now, all these metrics are in here. So the first metric we talked about was sessions. Now, this is where people come from. So we can see here we've got sessions over time. So our goal is to get more sessions to come in. So we can see this metric in here. The second metric is of the people that visited your store, how many of them actually converted? And this is where we call our conversion rate. So we want to continually look at conversion rate as another metric. Now, conversion rate is also made up of multiple metrics, which we see here over time. So we have our add to cart rate, we have our reach checkout rate, and that equals our conversion rate. Now, these are also really important metrics. If you do want me to do a video on this is called your conversion funnel. I'm more than happy to go into more detail about how to improve your conversion rates. To get our conversion rates to go up, we need to increase the amount of people that click add to cart. We want to increase the amount of people that reach the checkout. And if we do those two things together, then our conversion rate will increase, okay? So we need to be looking at our sessions and our conversion rate. So in our world right now, for every 100 people that hit our store, only 1.2 of them are actually going to buy something, all right? So now that we know that, we know sessions, we know conversion rate, and we know how many people are going to be buying in our store, we want to look at how much they're spending, and that's called our average order value. So if we go up a little bit here, we can see the average order value here is $178. Now, that's a pretty good average order value for our store, and we've been working on getting that higher. Now, Your goal as an entrepreneur is to increase the amount of money that people spend with you. And this is increasing the average order value. So in this instance, you want to look at things like selling products for a higher price, increasing the amount of things they buy from you, increasing the add-ons, upsells, cross-sells, all those sorts of things. So your goal is to how do we increase that average order value? Okay, now the fourth metric that we look at is our returning customer rate. If we scroll up here, we can see this here. Now, this is a really important rate because it's much cheaper to get a customer to buy from you again than to get a customer to buy from you for the first time. So one of our metrics is how do we make sure that someone comes back and buys from us again? So right now, this returning customer in this store is pretty low. Now, this store is not a consumable store, so we do have a low return customer rate. So what we're looking at here is how do we make that number higher? Can we add products that are great add-ons to something they've bought before? Can we add a consumable product in there? Can we do some subscriptions? Can we do memberships? So our focus now is increasing this return customer rate so we're not so reliant on new customers coming in the door all the time. So if you think about that now, if we can get our sessions to go up and we can get our conversion rate to go up, that means that more people are coming to our store and more people are actually buying from us, and we can increase the amount they spend with us, what's going to happen? Our revenue is going to go up, right? And then if we can get them to come back, buy from us again, our revenue is going to go up without us having to spend money on ads. So they're the metrics that you sort of need to focus on. Now, the other key metric is what we call customer lifetime value. It's how much is a customer worth to us over a period of time. And it could be 30, 60, 90, 12 months sort of days type thing. So we want to work that metric out. Now, unfortunately, the Shopify dashboard doesn't make that easy to do. So you need to do a little bit of sums yourself. And thankfully, Shopify have a little page that helps us work that out. So this is the page here, and I will link it down below, but it's how to calculate customer lifetime value in 2024. Doesn't really matter what year it is. I think they've just done that for SEO, to be honest. But basically, it's really simple. I'm just going to scroll all the way down. But what we want to do is we want to determine our average order value, which we can get from our dashboard. Now, then we want to work out purchase frequency. So purchase frequency is the total orders divided by the total customers. Now, this is a metric that I have done a custom attribute for in my store. So I'm going to go back here and I'll show you what I've done. I click customize, and we're going to go in here, I'm going to type in customers. And we have this one here, new customer returning. I haven't labeled it correctly, but basically we're saying we've got 578 customers. And I might make that a little bit smaller. If we grab this one here, we've got 578 customers and we've had 589 orders. If we have a look here, the metric that we want to calculate is total orders divided by total customers. So let's calculate that. We're going to go, total orders is 589 divided by 578. And that gives me 1.01. So it's basically one order per customer, which is a low return customer rate. So if we think about that, our customer value is average order value divided by purchase frequency. This is our purchase frequency. And then what we do is we times that by 178.43. And that is my customer lifetime value, $181. So not that great. So by looking at this, I have some opportunities in this store and I've been able to work that out by the data. So I can see I've got pretty good sessions. My conversion rate does need a little bit of work. My average order value is not too bad, but where I'm falling short is return customer rate. So I need to focus on areas to increase my purchase frequency and getting customers back to the store. So hopefully you found that useful. That's how I use Shopify Analytics. And that is the metrics that we look on our store and how we use the metrics to determine what we need to focus next on our business. So if you've got this far in the video, my guess is you are pretty serious about growing your e-commerce business. Now, I do run the e-commerce academy. We work with hundreds of brands and our goal is to scale them to $1 million plus per year by implementing lots of strategies with meta ads, SEO, website optimization, understanding analytics just like this. So if you're interested, I've got a link down below. Fill out the form and see whether or not you're suitable for our program. You'll work with me and my coaches and everyone to really get your store to where you want it to be. But if in the meantime, all you want to do is follow one of my content, there are 2 videos here that YouTube thinks is going to be absolutely perfect for you to grow your store to the next level.